In the blink of an eye, it was already Luo Feng's 16th year in the Universe Sea, deep within the water region of Qing Feng. I've been in Qing Feng world for 16 years and I haven't even seen a single treasure. Luo Feng leaned on the rock behind him and looked at the white water spirits 10 million kilometers away. Beams of white flowed about within, some in white human form, some in white beast form. The water spirits of all shapes and sizes were purely attracted to each other, playing with each other and occasionally letting out ear-piercing screams, wantonly floating about in the depths of the water region. The celestial mountain rocks within the water region were also incomparably huge. Actually, every celestial mountain rock was like a majestic mountain range. A depression was a huge canyon, a protrusion was a huge mountain peak, its flat surface was a vast plain. At least to Luo Feng, who maintained his body at over 1,000 kilometers, it was like that. However, after these 16 years of over 100 exchanges, my beast god path has improved a lot. Luo Feng was satisfied. These 100 exchanges were all against the warriors of the First Universe Era and Second Universe Era. Because the Primeval Universe, Universe 3 Era, was very weak, the experts of the Primeval Universe's 9 great powers, 12 great powers and many others, whether in the Primeval Universe or in the Cosmic Sea, unless there were treasures to attract them they would rarely fight each other. However, the First Universe Era and Second Universe Era, even without treasures they would still kill on sight. A few brand new styles of battle. Their new usage of the origin laws made Luo Feng's eyes gleam. Comprehending by analogy, his improvement in the beast god path was swift and violent, 10 times faster than training in the primal universe. Even his progress in the engraving school was very fast. It's a pity I haven't been able to create the strongest technique. Luo Feng thought, the third level of Star Pagoda is still far away. I'll wait. Roaming the Qing Feng world is like this. Most of the time it's peaceful. However, the moment the opportunity arises, I'll have to risk it all. Luo Feng immediately became a beam of light and flew, once again exploring. The water region was simply too huge. Countless warriors from the 3 universe eras spent countless years and still couldn't explore the entire water region. Luo Feng too slowly explored. Last time when I discovered the Firestone Master, I quietly followed him. When the distance was close, I immediately released a domain-type treasure and sealed the space. An Yong Lord shook his head in space and sighed. That stupid Flint Emperor, I was able to counter him. Just as I was about to kill him, who would have thought that primal universe human Luo Feng would ruin it? If I can successfully kill the Firestone Master, I'll get my hands on many treasures. Together with some of my own treasures, I'll probably be able to exchange for a peak domain-level treasure. Master of An Yong shook his head and sighed. He was unwilling to give up. Beside him stood an expert from the Holy-Eyed clan. There was also a one-eyed shadow in the halo at the back of his head. This was the characteristic of the Holy-Eyed clan. An Yong, did you gain anything in the inner area this time? The expert from the Holy-Eyed clan asked. The inner region is too dangerous. I only wandered around the safer places in the inner region. Those places have long been searched. Even though they had fought more than a dozen times, and even though they managed to push their opponent to the brink of death in one of the battles, their opponent still charged straight into the dangerous regions of the inner region in a frenzy. I don't dare to chase after them. An Yong Lord was helpless. I didn't gain anything. It's better to slowly explore the waters. There's less danger and occasionally I'll get treasures. Who knows, I might even meet some weaker universe lords that I can kill. The Holy-Eyed clan warrior said. Jiayu, did you gain anything? An Yong Lord asked. A small gain. Jiayu smiled. Jiayu and An Yong Lord only conversed once before parting ways. It was rather lonely in the pinnacle world, hence they would usually chat when they met. In the blink of an eye, another 2 years passed. Hua hua hua. Jiayu's face was handsome. His entire body glowed with a white light. There was a halo behind his head, and within it was a one-eyed shadow. He was flying slowly at the bottom of the waters. He explored the mountain peaks at the bottom of the water, the protrusions on the natural mountain rocks, and the canyons, without a trace of impatience. As an absolute warrior with an endless lifespan, even 10,000 years of exploration would be peaceful. Cave. It looked like an ordinary mountain cave, and Jiayu directly flew inside. The cave's diameter was tens of thousands of kilometers, and its depth was tens of millions of kilometers. Jiayu carefully flew inside. Sometimes seemingly ordinary caves and valleys in the waters might actually contain treasures. Jiayu sensed an extremely weak energy ripple. Energy ripple. Could it be? Jiayu's eyes instantly lit up, and his entire aura changed. His gaze swept across every region in front of him, and he even used his divine power to scan them. He advanced very slowly. The cave was deep and winding, and Jiayu suppressed his excitement and slowed down even more. After nearly 6 hours. Jiayu had just turned a corner when he saw a bright light in the distance, which made him even more excited. Haha, there might be some treasures hidden in the waters, perhaps even some special gains. Although Jiayu's speed was slow, he quickly arrived in front of that bright light. Treasures. Great treasures. Master Jiayu looked up and saw that there was a screen of light blocking his path forward. The screen itself was emitting extremely weak energy fluctuations, but strangely, Master Jiayu had used his divine power to scan the area before, but he hadn't found this screen of light at all. Light screen. Only some extremely powerful supreme treasures in the Fallen Peak world would cause special scenes to appear. For example, there might be danger in the surroundings or this kind of light screen that can't be detected, etc. Jiayu was incomparably excited. As an expert of the first Cosmos era, he naturally had ample experience. According to his past experience, the light screen itself didn't pose any threat. Be careful. Jiayu flipped his hand. Wah! A blue sphere appeared out of nowhere and it rapidly expanded, reaching a height of 10,000 kilometers. Jiayu maintained a height of 1,000 kilometers and entered it with a single step. This is a peak-grade ceiling palace-type supreme treasure. If I hide inside, even the strongest expert of the cosmos won't be able to kill me. Jiayu was incomparably excited. Although he had lived for countless years, he had seen special scenes because of a certain treasure, but that was with the other experts of the holy-eyed race. It was the first time in countless years that he had monopolized such a treasure. Such a commotion, it should at least be a peak-grade domain-type supreme treasure. Who knows, it might be a mystical item or some extraordinary special item. Jiayu controlled the peak-grade ceiling palace-type supreme treasure. He flew slowly. When he touched the light screen, it was as though he was breaking through a layer of water, without any obstruction. Another layer of light screen? Jiayu was shocked to discover that there was another light screen behind the light screen. He passed through another layer. Third layer. Jiayu was even more excited and he continued to pass through. Fourth layer. Fifth layer. Sixth layer. A total of 9 layers. It must be an incredible treasure ground. Looks like my luck isn't bad. Jiayu passed through the 9th layer. Hong? No. Everything returned to silence. The deep and winding cave was as quiet as ever, and the light screen was still there without any changes. It was as though Jiayu had never entered before. One of the 7 great miniaturized cosmoses of the first universe era of the holy-eyed race. No. Jiayu's incarnation was filled with excitement and anticipation, but he only had time to reveal a look of fear. The incarnation was destroyed. The moment the incarnation was destroyed, the master of the entire miniaturized cosmos, the third true lord of the holy-eyed race, immediately discovered it. Jiayu has fallen. A sigh resounded throughout the entire miniaturized cosmos. On the highest continent of the miniaturized cosmos, more than 10 universe lords were scattered everywhere, and immediately, their incarnations appeared. The third true lord Jiayu has fallen? How did Lord Jiayu die? Who killed him? How did he die? Instantly they all asked anxiously. After all, according to their classification, Jiayu was a peak level 4 universe lord. Even if he met the strongest expert in the universe, he would have a chance to survive for a short period of time. To the entire holy-eyed race, the fall of a universe lord was something that would only happen once in a long time. Jiayu fell instantly, and his incarnation did not even have time to leave a detailed message. A voice came from the sky. He fell so quickly that he did not even have time to leave a message. If he really met with a terrifying danger, he should have contacted other experts for help. The voice in the sky said slowly, so, Jiayu probably did not discover the danger beforehand, and when he discovered it, he fell immediately. He doesn't even know the reason for his fall? Even the strongest expert in the universe would not be able to do that. How could it be so terrifying? Looks like only some of the terrifying dangers in the pinnacle realm would be able to do that. Just the strength of an expert would not be able to reach such a level. These incarnations of the universe lords all said. The holy-eyed race was split into 7 miniaturized cosmoses, and naturally had connections with each other. The fall of Jiayu quickly spread to the upper echelons of the holy-eyed race. Jiayu, he was exploring the water region. The danger should have come from somewhere in the water region. For a danger to appear in the water region that could cause Jiayu to fall instantly. Looks like this place is not ordinary. According to the last information that could be found, Jiayu should have fallen in the area of the 193293 reference system. Now I order, the 3 universe lords of our race in the pinnacle realm's water region, Master of An Yong, Master of Array Mending, and Master of the Time Chariot, to head to the water region of the pinnacle realm to explore. You must be careful. If you discover any suspicious or dangerous areas, do not directly enter. Yes. Master of An Yong, Master of Array Mending, and Master of the Time Chariot immediately responded, and rapidly teleported in the void of the pinnacle realm, before entering the water region, heading towards the 193293 reference system to explore in detail. In the sky above the waters of the Qing Feng Realm, a huge celestial mountain rock was flying at several times the speed of light, while 3 figures emitting hazy white light were gathered together. Jiayu didn't even have time to leave a message before he died. What kind of danger did he encounter? Even in the pinnacle realm, there are only a few places where Master Jiayu didn't even have time to leave a message before he died. Only the core of the pinnacle realm is more common. One of the holy-eyed race experts said. And it was indeed very dangerous this time. We followed the first true lord's instructions. Once we find a dangerous place, we will immediately report it. I'm afraid we've wasted our efforts. The place where Jiayu died is probably not in the 193293 region of reference. Yes. This is where Jiayu was a few days before he died. His true place of death should be around here. He might even teleport to the inner region of the pinnacle realm and die there. Whatever, we will follow your orders. I will be in charge of a third of the region. And Yong will be in charge of this third. Sui Ji, you will be in charge of this third. Okay. What? The three experts of the holy-eyed race instantly split up and flew down to the vast water region to begin their search. The pinnacle realm was simply too big and there were large numbers of water spirits in the depths. Even 100 factions didn't dare to say that they had searched the entire water region. As time passed, the structure of the water region would gradually change. 6 days later. Simple search complete. I've also searched. Not yet. The three universe lords met and looked at each other. They didn't find any clues. What should they do? A single region of reference is too big. We have to rely on domain-type treasures to search within a few light years. Master An Yong said. Although this method is fast, the true treasures are affected by the pinnacle realm and can't be found with domains. Of course we know that. What should we do? Do we really have to search one by one? How do we search? How long would it take to travel a distance of a light year if one walked slowly from one place to another? How long would it take to cover an area 1 light year long, 1 light year wide, and 1 light year high? Searching wasn't flying. Just like the deceased Lord Jiayu, he would carefully explore some caves, and when he didn't find any treasures he would retreat. He continued on to the next canyon, cave, mountain, vegetation, and so on. His speed was extremely slow. Perhaps even 10,000 epochs would not be enough to cover a distance of 1 light year in a straight line. And 1 light year in length, width, and height. Even 100 million epochs was far from enough. It's impossible to explore in detail. We can only do a simple exploration. Report. Yes, report back. Master An Yong and the others could only report. Continue. Long before Jiayu perished he was in that frame of reference. When they truly died, it was very likely that they would leave the frame of reference and explore the surrounding area. The three of you, go and search the 100 frames of reference around the 193,293 frame of reference. The first true lord ordered. Yes. Master An Yong and the others followed. If it was just a simple search they wouldn't resist. In the blink of an eye, a few years had passed. The three of them had used their domain treasures to search through the surrounding 100 reference systems. They were even lucky enough to find a high-grade treasure weapon hidden in the depths of a canyon. They also found 2 strange places. When the 6th true lord of the holy-eyed race personally came to investigate, he didn't find anything. We've really been busy for nothing. Who knows where Jiayu died? Maybe he died in the inner region of Qing Feng Realm Lord Mountain. They had been busy for nothing. The holy-eyed race also investigated for a long time. Firstly, they investigated the most likely water region. Secondly, they investigated whether the treasure used by Master Jiayu was in the hands of other foreign race experts. Thirdly, the 6th true lord personally investigated. In the end, they could only admit defeat. There were no results. Normally, if a holy-eyed race expert was killed, the other existences of the holy-eyed race wouldn't let it go so easily. But this time, they couldn't find any traces. They could only swallow their anger. Master An Yong, Master of the Year Chariot and Master of the Array Mending were naturally dismissed. Master An Yong and Master of the Year Chariot and Master of the Array Mending left. Only the Master An Yong continued to head deeper into the water region. A few years before he died I met Jiayu. Back then he seemed to have some gains in the water region. And he continued to investigate the water region. There's a 90% chance that he died in the water region. I'll use the 193,293 frame of reference to carefully investigate. Time passed. In the blink of an eye, it was already the 12th year since Master Jiayu died. It's been said that the Qing Feng world is dangerous. It's one of the 3 great danger zones. I've been here for 30 years and I've never met any true danger. Luo Feng flew in midair. Looking at the distant majestic Qing Feng Realm Lord Mountain, the endless waterfall poured down. Rumble, this huge waterfall was tens of millions of light years tall. Every drop of water was comparable to a star. How terrifying was this endless waterfall? If this impact could be gathered at one point, even the strongest warrior in the universe would be destroyed. However, when it was spread out, it constantly struck the water region below. This caused the vast water region to constantly change. I'll go to the main mountain of Qing Feng world to take a look. Anyway, as long as I don't enter the mountain, the danger isn't that great. Luo Feng teleported again and again. Shwa. Swiftly heading towards the main mountain of Qing Feng world. This was the first time he got so close to the main mountain in 30 years. Looking at the mountain, even Luo Feng's teleportation was rather tiring. After teleporting over 30 million light years, he was already very close to the main mountain. Shwa. Luo Feng suddenly stopped in midair. Ahead was almost the entire universe sea of Qing Feng world's main mountain. However, Luo Feng frowned as he gazed below. What? My Slayer Wu wings? Luo Feng turned to look at the Slayer Wu wings behind him. The wings would occasionally tremble. Summoning. Almost like magnets attracting each other, the Wu killer wings were attracted. A very weak summoning, it seems to be from that direction? From the depths of the water region. Luo Feng gazed below and frowned. This wasn't something he didn't have experience with. Back then Tiantai Knight's flowing light wings and his own wings were attracted to each other, and that attraction was terrifyingly strong. This attraction was very weak, extremely weak. Don't tell me the third pair of wings is below, Luo Feng thought. Let's go take a look. So, Luo Feng teleported 10 light years downwards. It's much stronger. Luo Feng's eyes gleamed. The trembling of the Wu killer wings behind him intensified. Obviously the summoning was very strong. Go down. Luo Feng teleported again. Rumble, He had already entered the shallow water region of the endless water region. Rumble, the Wu killer wings behind him were madly trembling. What a strong summoning. Luo Feng revealed a look of excitement. He immediately unleashed the golden country. The blurry golden light immediately spread out, forming a 10-light-year radius huge blurry golden region. Of course this wasn't the limit of the golden country. However, in the dangerous water region, Luo Feng didn't dare to teleport too far. Luo Feng once again advanced another 3 light years. After which he entered the dangerous region, he couldn't simply teleport as he wished. The mid to long distance teleportation in the water region was normally only used in the shallow water region. In the deep water region, even with the help of the domain, he could only teleport very short distances. Luo Feng relied on the strong summoning. He was incomparably familiar with the direction of the summoning as he got closer. However, every time he teleported, the distance was incredibly short, only over 100 million kilometers. It must be the other parts of the Wu killer wings. Haha, I knew it. I knew there were other parts. However, I didn't expect to find them in the pinnacle region. Luo Feng was very excited. Back when he acquired Tian Wu Knight's pair of treasured wings, it allowed the Wu killer wings to become 4 wings. After studying it, he discovered that the 3rd engraving was incomplete. Obviously there were other parts. Originally, Luo Feng thought that it could have been obtained by other warriors of the Cosmic Sea. After all, there were many warriors with treasured wings. Also, these warriors who obtained a pair of treasured wings felt that it wasn't powerful enough, so they bestowed it to other warriors of the universe. This was one possibility. The other possibility was that it was in the pinnacle world. I didn't expect it to be so easy for me to sense it. I don't know if it's on the warrior or somewhere else. Luo Feng thought. Luo Feng flew at high speed and swiftly landed in a cave. It's inside. The summoning is coming from within. Luo Feng looked at the deep cave before him and carefully proceeded. The cave was wide and twisted, deep and unfathomable. Wung, the Wu killer wings on Luo Feng's back were madly vibrating. Luo Feng could only use his god energy to suppress it, preventing it from flying out. This summoning is too strong. The last time I faced Tian Wu Knight, the summoning wasn't this strong. Luo Feng muttered, is it because my Wu killer wings are more complete, hence the summoning is stronger? Luo Feng was very suspicious about this. He carefully proceeded. After spending a total of 3 hours under careful observation, Luo Feng finally saw the distant screen. Luo Feng carefully approached, frowning as he looked at the screen. Even though the Wu killer wings behind him struggled with all its might, almost as though it was trying to leave him, Luo Feng was very calm and cautious. Something's wrong. Something's very wrong. Luo Feng frowned. If there are other parts of the Wu killer wings within, and they have no owner under normal circumstances, they should automatically fly over. The parts have an owner and the owner is suppressing it. Then the owner should be able to feel the summoning, wouldn't he be curious and not come over to check? Luo Feng looked at the screen before him. According to my understanding of Qing Feng world, normally only special treasures would have a screen and other special scenes. Like normal treasures, high-level treasures and top-level treasures, they were usually casually hidden in some corner. Only some powerful treasures or even mystical items would cause such a phenomenon. The Wu killer wings summoning. That part didn't automatically fly over. Even though Luo Feng's heart was filled with desire, even wanting to rush in with the notoriety of Qing Feng world, he didn't dare mess around. I'll let the Masha clansmen go take a look. Luo Feng naturally made the decision. These few years of exploring the Qing Feng world, whenever there was a special situation, he would let the Masha clansmen handle it. A black-clothed Masha clansman appeared beside him and flew straight ahead. The moment it touched the screen it easily entered. The Masha clansman's body was small, his god energy purity was low and he didn't have any treasures. Even if he sacrificed one with the golden horned beast in his earth body, he would be able to recover in a few breaths. Hence during the 30 years in the pinnacle world, whenever he encountered something he wasn't confident in, he would let the Masha clansman do it. Wah! Passing through the screen. The Masha clansman looked ahead curiously. There was actually still a tunnel ahead and there was even a new screen. 2 layers of screens? The 3 great danger zones are the scariest places in the universe C. Only a few special areas will have special scenes appear. The Masha clansman was curious, 2 layers of screens, just what's inside? So, agilely moving forward, he easily passed through the screen. The screen itself couldn't stop anyone from entering. However, it could make all domain scanning and god energy scanning useless. My god, 3 layers of screens? The Masha clansman was shocked. He continued to pass through. 4th layer. 5th layer. 6th layer. The Masha clansman was completely shocked. Previously, in the information given by the human race regarding the pinnacle world, flowing mountain and the universe ship, there were indeed descriptions of the birth of some terrifying treasures. There were even records of the birth of the strongest treasures. Of course the scenes were different. There were a total of 12 records regarding the screens. 3 of them were about treasures, 9 of them were about rare treasures etc. The scenes of the 3 treasures. They were pinnacle treasures with 1 layer, pinnacle treasures with 3 layers, pinnacle treasures with 3 layers. 7th layer, 8th layer, there's actually a 9th layer. A huge treasure trove. It's definitely an extremely huge treasure trove. If a warrior says there's an absolute treasure within, I'd believe it. The Masha clansman looked excitedly at the 9th layer. However, from the crazily struggling of the Wu Shi wings, there should be other parts of the wings within. Even if it's an absolute treasure part, its power shouldn't be that strong. There shouldn't be a ninth layer, right? The Masha clansman was curious. Actually, Luo Feng was filled with questions. Firstly, the damaged part didn't fly out. Secondly, the summoning was too intense, far more powerful than when he first encountered the flowing light wings. Thirdly, the 9-layered light screen was too inconceivable. Could it be that there aren't just parts of the Wu-slaying wings inside, but other treasures as well? For example, a supreme treasure? The Masha clan's clone immediately suppressed the many thoughts in his heart. When faced with treasures, one would think too much, but reality was sometimes cruel. Whatever, I'll know once I see it. He easily entered the 9th layer of the light screen. Here? The moment the Masha clone passed through the 9th layer, he found himself surrounded by a dazzling space. Before he could take a closer look, several huge blade-like rays of light swept past the Masha clone. An intense pain assaulted his entire body. But the Masha clan's clone was instantly destroyed. Outside the first layer of light, Luo Feng stood there. What the hell? Luo Feng blinked, completely shocked. My Masha clansman is after all a universe knight, to be able to instantly destroy a knight without even thinking. How terrifying was that attack? It's probably comparable to an attack from a universe lord. Luo Feng pondered. Again? Another Masha clan clone appeared next to him and entered the light barrier in a flash. Before the 9th layer, the Masha clansman gritted his teeth. The moment I enter, I'll unleash my natural ability domain. I'll definitely be able to stay alive for a short period of time. I want to see just what kind of treasure this place is, to be able to emit such terrifying energies around. Wow. In just a blink of an eye, he had already entered the 9th light screen. As soon as he entered, he immediately cast his innate secret method, territory. Within the incomparably vast space, the Masha clansman had already completely merged with the space within 10,000 kilometers. Rumble, countless blade-like lights surged and swept through everything. In this vast space, the universe space itself had long become an endless flow of particles. The moment the Masha clansman transformed into his domain, he felt the destructive energies invade him, causing him to be instantly destroyed. Luo Feng stood in the depths of the cave before the first layer. After a while, his eyes gleamed. Destroying the skies and lands. Destroying everything in the universe space. Time, space, these are the structures of the universe. My Masha clansman unleashed his natural ability domain and still couldn't survive this is simply... Luo Feng was completely shocked. Simultaneously, his heart was filled with excitement. Treasure, this was definitely the pinnacle of treasures, there could very well be an absolute treasure within. Using strength to break through. All laws, before absolute strength they had to retreat. Just like the strongest of the universe, with their words, even the origin laws of the universe had to retreat. Furthermore, the power unleashed by these supreme treasures could also form an absolute domain within a certain range. Within this domain all laws could be forced to retreat. Even the lords of the universe could perish. That mysterious place behind the 9th layer is already strong enough to destroy space and time. Using strength to break through. I'm afraid it's the strongest of the universe, the absolute treasure level. Luo Feng revealed a look of glee. He didn't feel any fear, only excitement and joy. The stronger the power, the better. The stronger the treasure, the more terrifying it was. Luo Feng wasn't worried he wouldn't be able to acquire it. I have the Blood Cloud Palace and Star Pagoda with me. The Blood Cloud Palace is a pinnacle flying palace type treasure. Its power is extremely strong, and it specializes in material defense. Even the strongest of the universe couldn't destroy it with a full-powered attack. Luo Feng thought. Even an absolute treasure's power shouldn't be able to easily destroy a pinnacle flying palace. This was common sense. A pinnacle flying palace type treasure, with it, one could dominate the universe sea. However, Luo Feng didn't know that before him, the god-eyed clan leader Jia Yu had tried to barge in, and he hid in a pinnacle flying palace type treasure. His ending was tragic. Blood Cloud Palace, Star Pagoda, especially the absolute treasure Star Pagoda. Luo Feng thought. According to what my teacher said, any one of the 3 danger zones has no way to destroy an absolute treasure. However, before I enter, I have to investigate the situation inside. I don't believe that the blade light that ripped me apart is everywhere. Luo Feng thought. The Masha clansman had fallen twice before, he didn't even see the situation inside clearly. He only knew that the glaring blade light had killed him. Shwa. The Masha clansman tried to barge in again. Similarly, in an instant, it was swept away by the vast and endless blade lights, killing him. The 3rd time, 4th time, 5th time. I'll try 100 times, I don't believe I'll fall every time. Luo Feng wouldn't easily take the risk. After all, even though the Star Pagoda was safe, it only meant it could block all material attacks. However, if the Star Pagoda were to fall into a dangerous situation where he couldn't escape, the information given by the human race had many such dangerous places recorded. Sending the Masha clansman to his death time and time again, to gather more information, was also for safety reasons. As for the Masha clansman, even if he fell 100 times, the god energy he lost, his earth body and the golden horned beast would only require a short while to recover. Madly falling again and again. Every time he was swept away by the vast and extremely dense blade storm, he was instantly destroyed. The 39th time. The Masha clansman charged in again. Ha! The Masha clansman was overjoyed to see that the endless blade-like glaring lights had gathered into a storm. Around him were endless storms, however none of them touched him, causing the Masha clansmen to immediately scan and swiftly observe everything. Not even a millionth of a second. However, Luo Feng's consciousness revolved quickly, he could already see everything clearly. This was an incomparably vast space. The pitch-black space was filled with countless rumbling primal chaos particles, and the glaring endless blade-like storm engulfed everything. The area was so vast, just one glance and one could see it in light years. In this endless space the most dazzling thing was in the distance. That huge. What completely made Luo Feng dumbstruck. Wings. Seemingly endless, a pair of wings that were even more dazzling than the sun by trillions of times. The two wings were incomparably huge. That dazzling white wing light emitted a pressure. That terrifying pressure from above caused Luo Feng's consciousness to pause, following which, rumble, the Masha clansman was already killed by the endless blade storm. Deep within the winding cave outside the first layer of light, Luo Feng stood there stunned, his mind filled with the shocking scene before him. The endless pair of wings, even more dazzling than the sun by trillions of times, it felt like an incomparably huge light wing. That absolute superiority even made Luo Feng feel a sense of submission. Wings? A wing? This mysterious place is actually a feather? Luo Feng was stunned. Don't tell me that extremely terrifying wing is a part of my killer Wu's wing. Is that possible? Is this possible? What a joke. Luo Feng had seen many treasures before. Absolute treasures, he had seen them before. He even had an absolute treasure, Star Pagoda. The power of the Star Pagoda was extremely huge, just the 9-spiral nebula that it swallowed was already that strong. As for the true power of the Star Pagoda, Luo Feng wasn't too sure. After all, the Star Pagoda had always been quietly in space. He only knew that the 4 pinnacle races had once fought for it. Many of the strongest warriors of the universe had tried to steal it, but they all failed. That glaring to the extreme, that huge light wing, it must be an absolute treasure, it must be. Being this strong, it would be weird if it wasn't an absolute treasure. And from the looks of it, looking at that incomparably crazy blade tornado, it should be an attack-type absolute treasure. Luo Feng was extremely excited. Any absolute warrior in the universe who could acquire an absolute treasure would be excited too. Following which, Luo Feng's mind was filled with endless questions. He couldn't help but frown. Very peculiar. That incomparably huge glaring light wing, even though he could vaguely see it through the endless storm, he could tell that it didn't have an owner. However, it didn't fly over. The killer Wu wings on his body wanted to fly over. Is it a part? Luo Feng muttered to himself. My 2 pairs of wings added together are only at the pinnacle level. That pair of wings is already that strong. Furthermore, how could a part of a supreme treasure be so powerful? Just the pressure emitted by those seemingly endless wings of light was enough to cause his consciousness, which was at the level of a lord of the universe, to freeze instantly. It was truly unbelievable. Don't tell me the 2 wings on my body are related to the light wings like the Pagoda Pearl, the ceiling stars and the Star Pagoda? Luo Feng guessed, I'm just 2 small parts of the light wings? Just as he was thinking, suddenly, rumble. The entire deep cave was suddenly filled with endless ice-white sand. Countless sand particles flowed and filled every corner of the cave. They even easily penetrated the thick rocks and swept through every corner. At the same time, the sea of sand also swept through the light screen. The light screen slightly rippled, as though the surrounding space and time had already distorted. No matter how he looked, he couldn't discover the secrets within. Domain treasure, Ice Sand Ocean? Luo Feng was shocked. Ice Sand Ocean was the domain treasure of the Enyong Master. He had experienced it before when he saved the Firestone Emperor. Haha, human Milky Way leader Luo Feng? A voice resounded in his ears through the endless sea of sand. Wah! The surrounding space ripples immediately froze. Space lock. He's actually here, what a coincidence. Luo Feng cursed within. That pair of light wings was without a doubt an absolute treasure, incomparably precious. Its power was heaven-defying, and it had a special relationship with his Wu killer wings. Even though the Masha clansman only glanced at it briefly, he could tell that it was extremely proficient in attack. If he had the Star Pagoda and wings, these 2 absolute treasures, that would really be heaven-defying. Absolute treasures, just how precious are they? To get them it won't be easy. Luo Feng muttered within. The Star Pagoda back then already made the strongest of the universe helpless. Even before them they couldn't do anything about it. Even when Mountain Guest left it for him, he had to spend a lot of effort and go through life and death situations to get it. This light wing was probably about the same, however with the sudden appearance of Enyong Master. I can't let him discover the secrets of this cave. The God-eyed clan's power is overwhelming, it's an absolute power, much stronger than our human race. The moment he finds out and notifies the God-eyed clan, I won't be able to get the wings. Many thoughts flashed through Luo Feng's mind, after which he made his decision, immediately becoming a beam of light and swiftly flying out. The Master of Enyong stood at the peak of a mountain in the depths of the water domain, looking at the cave entrance in the distance with a rare look of excitement on his face. All these years he had been searching slowly and meticulously in the area of the reference frame number 193293. However, searching through caves, valleys, mountain bellies, aquatic plants and so on was simply too slow. Usually, after a period of searching, he would use his domain-type treasure to scan through the area within 100 light-years when he felt bored. A combination of detailed exploration and simple exploration. Occasionally, with such a large area sweep, he might be able to find some clues. He didn't expect that during this random sweep out of boredom, he would actually discover the primal universe human Luo Feng. Actually, during these years of his large-scale exploration he had met 2 other universe lords that passed by. Luo Feng was the 3rd to be swept out. I actually found this human Luo Feng, but what luck. Yes, he's weak and doesn't dare to enter the inner region. He's probably searching in the outer regions, since he actually came to my reference frame number 193293, he can't blame me. The Master of An Yong had a sense of superiority towards Luo Feng. Because, in his eyes, Luo Feng had just entered the Universe Lord level, his strength barely at the 2nd level. He was only good at escaping. His domain is quite powerful. One-on-one, I probably won't be able to kill him. The one-eyed silhouette behind the Master of An Yong's back seemed ferocious. Universe C, the God-eyed clan had a total of 7 small universes. Within the 7th True Lord's universe. I've already intercepted the primal universe human Luo Feng. Right now he's at reference frame number 193293, 329491, 100939. That LuoFeng's domain control is extremely strong. With the help of a pinnacle domain treasure, we'll split the treasures evenly. Who can reach first? The Master of An Yong stood before a mirror. Many images appeared in the mirror. Haha, An Yong, your luck is really good. The news of the primal universe human's new universe Lord Luo Feng has long spread. He has a special treasure that can control space and time, it's very hard to deal with. Indeed, only those with pinnacle domain treasures have a chance. An Yong, I'll need close to 40 minutes to reach. Translated from the God-eyed clan's words, it's 3 hours, equivalent to 40 minutes. An Yong, I'm in peak world too. However, from the inner region, it'll take a few days. It's a pity I'm in the universe boat. Even if I teleport over, it'll take about 2 hours. Many images appeared in the mirror, speaking continuously. Later on, even the fastest one would need close to 40 minutes to reach. Master Golden Lion, please hurry over. I'll rush over as fast as I can. That primal universe human Luo Feng, I'll have to rely on you to hold him back. Alright. Golden Lion and Yong, I wish you success. Don't get beaten back by the human warriors. The human race will definitely protect that human Luo Feng. If you guys move slowly, the primal universe human warriors may arrive. Especially that primal chaos city leader, he's not to be trifled with. In the inner region of the pinnacle realm, the wind howled. Countless grains of sand and stones flew at 100 times the speed of light. Occasionally there were some transparent grains of sand and stones. When they flew by, cracks silently appeared in the space. Dang, dang, dang. A golden flying ship whizzed past, but it was struck by some sand and rocks, causing it to shake uncontrollably. However, it passed through with difficulty. Within the ship, a completely golden armored humanoid life form, his entire body was emitting white light. There was a halo behind his head and within it was a single-eye silhouette. Human Luo Feng, a treasure that can control time and space? The God-eyed clan warrior muttered softly. When the Golden Lion Emperor and An Yong Emperor's clones agreed, deep within the water region 193293 of Peak World, Luo Feng and An Yong Emperor had already met. Luo Feng flew out of the cave and floated in the center of the water region. Not far away at the peak, An Yong Emperor stood and gazed at Luo Feng. Rumble. The golden flames swept through everything. All the sand and stones were dispersed. With the help of the Golden Country, the endless flames formed by the flaming sand cup enveloped the surrounding light years. Luo Feng was in the center of the endless flames. His 4 wings extended and he faced An Yong Emperor. An Yong Emperor, I really see you everywhere. Luo Feng roared. Ha ha. An Yong Emperor laughed loudly. I didn't purposely look for you. I've searched this water region for a long time. You were the one who found the treasure and came here. You didn't walk this path of survival and chose to walk the path of death. Who can you blame? Path of death. Luo Feng sneered. Life is limited. Eternity is hard to seek. An Yong Emperor looked at Luo Feng. Killing is the only path. An Yong Emperor wasn't in a rush to make a move. He was intentionally stalling for time. Because, one-on-one he had 100% confidence in defeating Luo Feng. However, killing Luo Feng was an impossible task. Luo Feng replied verbally. However, he was wary within. He searched this region for a long time? Luo Feng immediately became wary. Why so long? Did he get some information? That pair of wings was filled with endless power. Luo Feng was afraid of anything happening along the way. He had to minimize any unexpected factors. Looks like he doesn't know yet. He's just busy searching everywhere. The entire bottom of the water region is filled with endless celestial rocks. There are countless caves, valleys, mountains, etc. If he keeps searching like this, I'm afraid he won't be able to find my cave even after 10,000 eras. Luo Feng nodded. Before, when he came out of the cave, it seemed like the An Yong Emperor didn't suspect anything. Actually, not suspecting anything was normal. Because there were countless caves in the water region. Searching for treasures in the water region was usually done through various caves. When the An Yong Emperor discovered Luo Feng was in the cave. An Yong Emperor thought that Luo Feng was searching for treasures too. He didn't notice anything special about the countless caves. Killing is the only path? Luo Feng smiled savagely. It's hard to say who will kill who. Rumble. Luo Feng wielded his blade. He immediately became a beam of light and rushed towards the An Yong Emperor. He actually dares to fight me? The An Yong Emperor was shocked that Luo Feng didn't immediately flee. His eyes were filled with killing intent. Little punk, over the countless years I've killed more warriors than you've ever seen. Fight me? Die. The scepter in his hand was incomparably glaring. The scepter pierced forward. In an instant, a beam of light appeared in space. There was only one word: fast. Dang. The beautiful golden blade flashed. It struck the tip of the scepter. The powerful impact caused Luo Feng to be flung away. So fast that I could barely block it. No wonder even the Flint Emperor couldn't block it in time. The power is not small. The Master of Enyong looked at Luo Feng and praised, "Your blade isn't bad, it's a pity that the power of your blade is a little weak. Your blade technique is probably just an ultimate technique." As he praised, his speed was terrifyingly fast, almost immediately catching up to Luo Feng. Luo Feng felt his entire body tremble. Powerful. He had the killing Wu wings and the blazing sand cup to support his blade technique. However, he was still at a disadvantage. "I'm afraid I'll have to unleash my universe technique to be able to fight him," Luo Feng thought. Haha. The Enyong Emperor's footsteps were slow. With one step, he passed through the layers of flames and arrived beside Luo Feng. The huge scepter in his hand immediately waved. It was almost as though the entire universe's energy was gathered at the tip of the scepter. It smashed fiercely at Luo Feng. This smash was definitely heavy. The move before was fast. This move was heavy. Chi, a lightning-fast glaring stab suddenly lit up. Bastard. Enyong Emperor immediately roared. He wanted to wave the scepter in his hand to change directions. However, this sneak attack was simply too sudden. Chi. The incomparably glaring long spear pierced right into the Enyong Emperor's left palm that he was trying his best to block. Die. A low roar resounded. A red silhouette appeared in the distance. His tail waved slightly. He wielded a huge spear. It was the Blood Cloud Palace leader. Rumble, the Star Pagoda transformed into a long spear. This extremely powerful treasure's second-level power was unleashed. Without any weapon to block, it pierced into Enyong Emperor's body. Enyong Emperor immediately roared. His entire body trembled violently. He could feel his divine body's energy rapidly weakening.